Hello everyone, it's the afternoon before our first big road trip in the Lucid Air Grand Touring Performance. I just got this car 3 months ago and this is the first time we're going on a long road trip, and for this one we're going to be driving from our home base in Southern California up to Portland, Oregon. Now, like many cars these days, the Lucid doesn't come with a spare tire, so for safety reasons we went ahead and bought a modern spare wheel and tire. We're going to load it up for this road trip. Let's go ahead and get that modern spare loaded up, and then we're going to charge this car to 100% state of charge overnight, and that should give us nearly 450 miles of range. This is the longest range and most efficient EV on the road today, and I think this trip is going to prove that we have less bladder capacity than we have battery capacity. And I'm guessing we're going to be stopping more often to hit the restroom than we will be to charge. So, okay, enough with that. Let's go ahead and load the spare. Okay, so Lucid Air GTP here. I actually just put the modern spare in here ahead of the road trip. It actually fits very well in the sub frunk area here. It basically just goes right in. Lift that up. And with this, I'm going to be able to put the floor back on. All right, here we go. Nicely hinged over here. It's going to go, and there we go. There's still plenty of room, as you can see, for front stuff here. Awesome. All right, let's go ahead and charge, and we'll leave first thing in the morning. Okay, welcome back, everyone. Just like that, we're off and going. It's 5:30 in the morning. Our battery is at 100% state of charge. We've just about 450 miles of indicated range. It's about 1,000 miles exactly from where we are here in Southern California to Portland, Oregon. And so technically speaking, we only need to do 3 charging stops on this trip. But this is going to be nearly 16 hours of driving. And like I was saying previously, there's just no way that we're going to stop 3 times, because we're going to need more stops than that to use the restroom, get food, get snacks, and just get out of the car to stretch. So according to Lucid's navigation here, the first charging stop it has determined for us is way out in the Central Valley past Bakersfield. That's nearly 4 hours away. We're going to follow the Lucid's route guidance, but my strategy here is to manually add in several more Electrify America charging stops along this route than what Lucid is telling us. That way we can get to about a 3 to 3.5 hour stopping cadence, because that's about my limit in terms of needing restroom breaks and needing to stretch. Now, this car is equipped with free Electrify America charging from Lucid, and so if everything works out, we're going to do the entirety of this trip and back. Now, that's going to be over 2,000 miles and not have to spend a dime on charging costs. That's so awesome. Also on this trip, we're going to have our first extensive experience using Lucid's autopilot system, which they call Highway Assist. Now, in my around town driving and shorter distance trips here, I've been very impressed with Lucid's Highway Assist, and I'm eager to test this out on such a long road trip like we're doing today. And we'll see if it holds up well over these long distances that we're going to be covering today and tomorrow. All right, let's really get going here, and I'll check back in a little bit later with some more thoughts. Okay, so we've been driving for about 2 hours and 20 minutes at this point. Only covered 120 miles. There's about a 20-25 minute traffic jam or so. But I wanted to show you the crazy range of this Lucid Air Grand Touring Performance here. So we've covered 120 miles, and it says at our first stop we would arrive with currently estimated 47 miles of range left. But look where our first charging stop is going to be. We started from Orange County, California, and it says that we have enough range with 47 miles remaining to get to almost Modesto, California. That's just kind of north of San Jose, which is pretty crazy. It's 62 degrees right now. Throughout this 2 hour and 20 minute drive, it's been in the high 40s and 50s throughout, so a pretty, fairly chilly morning. And just the range on this thing is incredible. I'm going 72 miles an hour, a little over the speed limit. Not the fastest, obviously, but still, there's no way that we're going to make it to Modesto, not because we're the Modesto area, not because we don't have enough range, but because we're going to have to eat and we're going to have to pee. So our stomachs and our bladder can't make it as far as the Lucid Air's range. It's just crazy. Appreciate all the range, Lucid. Absolutely. But still gotta eat, still gotta pee. So we're actually going to reroute here. We're going to need to add some juice. Yeah, so we're gonna reroute here because we want to get some breakfast and use the restroom. See what we got over here. Lone Pine? No, I'm not sure about Lone Pine. What else? Search this area. Okay. Navigate to this one, Bakersfield. 26 miles away. Let's do it. The Bakersfield area, I should say. Using Lucid Highway Assist. Been doing a phenomenal job. Battery's now preconditioning. Dialed in. This is the Dream Drive Pro, and Highway Assist was drastically improved with an update back in September, I think. Update 2.4, and it's just been pretty much just rock solid. Okay, so we've added a stop here. Current location, enter roundabout, charging, manually added. So we're 23 minutes away, 26 miles. Cool. Gonna hit the restroom. Might as well get a charge in, even though we absolutely do not need it. Okay, so we'll see the Lucid Highway Assist at work over here. I've got it set to 72 miles an hour. We're approaching a big rig over here. He's probably doing, I don't know, maybe 70, just a little under 70. Car hauler here. And let's go ahead and change lanes here. So we initiate lane change. Lane change initiated. I handle the lane. Then I'll complete the change, all without input. Love, you can just override this. You can hit the accelerator a little bit. Just give a little bit of passing juice. Until you're on override. Back off. There's no one near us, so we're good. Let's override a little bit. Passing some cars over here. All right, so we arrived here with plugged in just about 58% state of charge over here. It's pretty chilly out. I think it's like 47 degrees right now, and so it's not charging the fastest. I also didn't really do much preconditioning. As you can see, it's a 350 kilowatt station. We're at pretty high state of charge. It's going to 109 kilowatt is the current charging speed that you can see over here. So not great, but not too horrible either. Just again, considering it is pretty cold, and I did not precondition very much when we were getting here. So, oh well, that's it. This wasn't a well-planned stop, because obviously we could have gone all the way to past Modesto, or near Modesto, I should say. And so we're just stopping so we can use the restroom real quick and maybe get something to eat over here. All right, so we're just now leaving this Electrify America station in Bakersfield, California. It's located just a mile or two off Interstate 5 freeway. We arrived here with 58% state of charge, which still would have allowed us to drive over 260 more miles or so before, or had we not stopped. So we stopped here not because we needed to charge, but because we've been driving for just about 3 hours and wanted to stop and take a restroom break and walk around and stretch a little bit. So the Electrify America here worked perfectly fine. All the stalls were online, and plug and charge was flawless and had us charging within 30 seconds after we plugged in. That's really good. We were only here for 12 minutes, and we've now charged back up to 80% state of charge. So we're leaving here with just about 355 miles of range. With this much range, the Lucid's built-in nav has us going way past Sacramento at this point for the next stop. But that's really not realistic, because again, we're going to need to stop in the next 2 to 3 hours to not only use the restroom again, but also eat some kind of brunch or something. So once again, the crazy range that this Lucid Air Grand Touring Performance has means we're just going to be stopping short of where Lucid is navigating us again. Okay, we'll be back with more in a little while. All right, everyone, welcome back. It's a little over 10 a.m. now. We've covered about 125 miles and have been driving for a bit over 1.5 hours since our last stop. We're approaching Firebaugh, California, and there's an Electrify America station up here with a McDonald's nearby, and we're going to go and stop off and get some brunch at the Golden Arches and plug in while we're eating. So we'll look at the trip stats here as soon as I stop and plug in, so stay tuned. Okay, so we just plugged in over here at Firebaugh, California. We arrived here with about 40% state of charge and a little bit of preconditioning, but it doesn't matter because this stall is, or this charging station, Electrify America here, is pretty full, and I'm only going at 87 kilowatts, which is fine because there's McDonald's across the street over there, and I'm gonna go there and eat. Things are going pretty good. I was driving a little bit fast on going about 75, 80 miles an hour this particular run, and we were only quote unquote getting 3.19 mile per kilowatt hour, which is still very, very efficient. Obviously, you could see that my lifetime average with this car has been at 3.09, but most of that was done in city driving, or mixed city and some highways, but most of those were on the 21-inch summer wheels and summer tires and wheels. Now I have the 19-inch Lucid Aero Range wheels with the all-season tires, just because it's wintertime. We're getting to wintertime. I'm going to be taking these types of trips where I'm driving up to the Pacific Northwest and other parts of the country. So anyways, we are right here. It says charging power limited by station, just fine. If we were in a rush, obviously this would not be good, but we are not in a rush. We are going to go and get something at McDonald's. Okay, so that was good. Charging time ended up taking 46 minutes, but I just walked back here after going to McDonald's and getting some breakfast. It was actually pretty crowded at McDonald's over there. Anyways, we're charged up to 91%. We're going to go ahead and unplug and let's get out of here. So I don't have light show, but I do have auto wipers at work and highway assist that's not bothered by the rain. Hey, check it out. Let's change lanes. Woo-hoo. Good job, Lucid. I got nice cameras. Everything's good. What are we getting efficiency-wise? Let's check it out. 83.79 in the rain. All right, everyone, welcome back. This has been a really long driving stint, but we're going to stop off here at Electrify America in Willows, California, where there's a Walmart and another McDonald's. We'll be stopping off at one or both of those places to hit the restroom and also go and get some more food. This will be a little bit of a late lunch for us. Now, if you're not familiar with Willows, California, this is an hour and change north of Sacramento, and it's a place known to car enthusiasts because an excellent road course racetrack is right here in Willows, and it's called Thunder Hill Raceway Park. I started tracking my fast cars here at Thunder Hill Raceway over 20 years ago, and have been to numerous racetracks around the world since that time. But to this day, Thunder Hill Raceway here in Willows is still one of my top 5 favorite racetracks in the world. It would be really awesome to take this Lucid Air GTP for a few flying laps around here one day, but that day is not going to be today, and we're just going to make a quick-ish stop. 20 plus years ago, this Walmart, this entire place you see here didn't even exist. And it's been kind of interesting to see the slow growth of even a kind of a backwater place like Willows in the past 2 decades. All right, so let's go ahead and get some juice over here, and we'll go and recharge our bodies a little bit too. Okay, so any notion of range anxiety has been shattered by this Lucid Air Grand Touring performance. Unbelievable. I covered 237.2 miles at my last charge, and I left there with 91% state of charge. And I still arrived with 114 miles of range remaining. That's crazy. I drove for over 3 hours. I am a little bit fatigued. I need to get out. I need to stretch. Need to use the restroom. Gotta pee and gotta get something to eat. This leg, 237.2 miles covered, 3.26 mile kilowatt hour efficiency. That's actually great by anyone's standards, but by what I was seeing a little bit earlier on the trip, when I was getting 3.7 and almost 3.8 here, it was a little bit of a down for this trip, or this leg of the trip, this particular one, just because we ran into a bunch of headwinds. There was some weather out this way. So anyways, I'm going to go and plug in and charge. Unbelievable. This Lucid Air has completely shattered all notion of range anxiety. This is so awesome. Okay, unfortunately it's only a 150 kilowatt station over here. We're going to go ahead and plug in. I'm going to show you how fast the Electrify America communication time is these days. Okay, so just clicked in. Processing payment. Of course, it'll be free for me. Authorize. Initiating charging. 2 years ago, in 2022, and then last year in 2023, this used to be such a hassle where it used to take forever to initiate charging, and times out all the time, running into all kinds of issues. But lately, ever since I got the Lucid, plug and charge has been just phenomenal. I've got it since August. I've had it since August, and it's just been crazy how fast it starts to charge. Wrapping up 177 kilowatt. Pretty good. Especially for a 150 kilowatt station over here. Okay, so it's been 32 minutes. We're at 84% state of charge. Charging is definitely ramped down as expected at this point. It took a little while. Got some, you can't see it over there, but just off in the distance, there's a McDonald's. Got a Big Mac at McDonald's. Was really hungry. This is a Walmart over here, and went to Walmart to pick up some more drinks and juices for the rest of the drive here. So we'll leave it plugged in for a few more minutes. I finally booked a hotel for the night. So we're driving up to Portland, but we're actually going to stop in Medford. And I checked out Medford, Oregon. I checked out PlugShare. There's apparently at this hotel that we're going to be staying at, should be 2 NACS chargers, and or NACS ports, and 2 J1772. So these are AC chargers. I'm expecting it to be charging at 6 to 7 kilowatt overnight. And so hopefully by the time we get to the hotel, it's only going to be 6 right now. If I left right now, it's currently showing 6:53 p.m. So probably by the time we leave here and get to the hotel, it's probably going to be, a little after 7 or something like that. Hopefully by the time we get there, there'll still be some charge ports open, but we'll see. If I don't grab charging at the hotel tonight, if all the plugs are taken, that's not a problem, because there's also Electrify America station right there in Medford that's not far away from that hotel. So I'll be good either way. Right now, if I left now, it's projecting that I'll get there with 117 miles of range left. We're not quite ready yet. Dog is still being walked, and I don't know what else is going on, but I'm still waiting for passengers to get back. So a couple more minutes of charging here. We've got enough juice to get going already, but we'll stick around for a little longer to wait for everybody to get back to the car. 3 hours and 21 minutes to go until we get to the hotel in Medford. So stay tuned over here. Up to 85% state of charge. Probably can't see that from this screen over here. You can see it from here. Not really. 85% state of charge. We'll get going here in just a few more minutes. Okay, here we go. Unplugging at 89 or 90% state of charge. Took on 79 kilowatt hour. Charging speed definitely slowed down. Let's go ahead and unplug. We've got plenty of juice to make it to Medford, Oregon for the night. All right, so we arrived at the Fairfield Inn and Suites here in Medford, Oregon. And as expected, yes, there are 4 chargers here, 2 J1772 and 2 NACs. Charging now plugged in a little bit ago. Charging now at 6 kilowatt. These are 30 amp chargers over here, so charging as expected. Now, Lucid says I'm getting 15 miles per hour of charging. And so we arrived here with just about 124 miles of indicated range left. Charging up to 133 now. So time to remaining 22 hours, 50 minutes to a full charge. But actually, that's a little weird. So I have it set to 100%. It's a little bit misleading. I don't think it's going to take 22 hours. Something must be a little bit off here to charge to full, because it's not going to take that. I mean, I'm not that low on juice. I have to do the math a little bit later, but it seems like it should be about 15, 16 hours of charge. So this is a little bit wrong for some reason. Not sure why it's showing us 22, almost 23 hours here, but it should be about 15, 16 hours of charge, which is more than enough. I don't know that we'll stay that long at the hotel, maybe here for about 12 hours or something like that before we continue on our way to Portland, Oregon. But nevertheless, happy to get a charger to charge overnight, and free for guests. So don't have to pay for these. And that's going to mean that since I don't have to pay for Electrify America charging with my Lucid, I also don't have to pay for this. So this whole trip might be free of charge. We will see in terms of that. Okay, we'll get some sleep. Join us tomorrow morning when we leave for Portland. Have a good night. Good morning, everyone. We are now leaving Medford, Oregon. We rolled in last night around 7:30 p.m. It is now 9:45 a.m. Just finished breakfast and quickly packed up and back in the car now. Car charged overnight all the way from 28% state of charge where we arrived at up to 89% state of charge. We arrived here last night with 125 miles of range remaining, and we're now leaving here with just about 390 miles of range. Now, it's only at 270 miles or so from Medford, Oregon to Portland, Oregon. So technically speaking, we don't need to stop. But that's also about 4.5 hours away. And so once again, with this range monster, that's the Lucid Air, we know we're going to have less bladder capacity than we will have battery capacity. So we're definitely going to need to stop, and we'll probably do so in Sutherlin, Oregon, which there's an Electrify American station there, a Starbucks, and a Dairy Queen all right there. It's about 110 miles away from here, so we're going to manually input that as a charging destination in our Lucid nav here. And we'll see you next in Sutherlin. Okay, so we just arrived at Sutherlin, Oregon. Arrived here with 281 miles of indicated range remaining. Here at Electrify America, there is a Dairy Queen here and a Starbucks, and we're gonna go get something to drink. This particular drive here, let's take a look at the trip. So this particular leg of the journey covered almost 110 miles. A lot of hills and mountainous terrain over here. So ended up at 3.14 miles per kilowatt hour. And anyways, we are going a little bit here. Not the highest charging speed. This is only a 150 kilowatt stall over here. Their 350 over there is occupied, and that's okay. We've got a Nero in a boat charging here, but that's not terrible. We're not in any kind of rush, so we'll deal with it. 288 plus, you know, we're above 50% right now, 65% state of charge, so going on 99 kilowatt is just fine for that. So all right, so anyways, we didn't actually have to stop here, but we are here because we do need some caffeine and we have to go pee. So once again, the Lucid, incredible range of the Lucid Air has defeated any sort of range anxiety, and now it's all just about satisfying humanity and human nature, you know, in terms of getting caffeine and needing to use the restroom. And so yeah, so that's it. You know, at this point, it's 2024. The Lucid Air Grand Touring, there's just really no more range anxiety. That is just a thing of the past. I'm not even looking for charging stops and charging station in this thing, because I just assume that I'm gonna have enough range to get to wherever I need to get to and charge and be able to plug in. Especially now with Electrify America, as good as it is now, just plug in and get charging right away with no issues. So here we are. All right, I'm gonna go get some caffeine now. All right, so only been here for 7 minutes now, and we're up to 74%, almost 230 miles of indicated range. We should be getting, let's see here, we should be getting into Portland with, according to this, 134 miles of indicated range remaining at this point. So we can go ahead and unplug. We're all ready to go over here. Unplug now. Get back on the road. All right, it's just after 2 p.m. here on a Monday. We're just getting into Portland, one of my favorite cities in America. It's a beautiful, rainy fall afternoon here. We've been driving for about 2.5 hours since our last stop in Sutherlin, and we're arriving here with just about 135 miles of range remaining. We're going to be here in Portland for a few days, so we'll just leave the car as is once we get to the hotel and just charge on our way back to Southern California in a few days. It's been a fantastic 2-day drive. Thank you for joining me. If I had to summarize the Lucid Air road trip experience, I would have to say that bar none, this is the best road tripping vehicle I've ever owned in my life. And that's saying something for someone who's owned nearly 30 cars and been driving for 30 plus years. I can't believe how comfortable, how quiet, how efficient the Lucid Air is. It's nearly dead silent in the car, and the Lucid's awesome Dream Drive Pro with highway assist here has really taken fatigue out of the road trip equation. I found a 14-hour drive like I did yesterday. It felt more like it was 7 hours. It's just been unbelievable. We've been using the massage seats throughout the drive with our heated seats and heated steering wheel for comfort. We've been driving in the rain and temps in the 40s and 50s in the Lucid Air. The most efficient EV on the market today just hasn't missed a beat on the efficiency side. As I've been saying throughout this video, this is the first EV I've ever owned which has more battery capacity than I have bladder capacity. And we've never had any range anxiety in this. Electrify America has worked flawlessly throughout this trip. Just really, what a fantastic car. Major kudos to Lucid for building the best EV out there. Thanks again for watching, and please make sure to like and subscribe.